Alright, I'll level with you guys. It's been a bit more than one evening. It's been like a couple months, I think. But it's really cold outside, like -30, and that's a good thing. I think we're gonna test its cold capabilities, because I've had a couple people ask about that. They should operate okay in the cold. I'm not as certain about -30, but let's find out. Alright, well, it's a little chilly out there, but not too bad. One of the great things about smart telescopes is you don't need to be outside with the telescope to enjoy them. We'll let it run for a little while, collect some data, and we'll get back to you with the results. Okay, we're back. I left it outside for another 2 hours or so after we wrapped up filming last night. I collected about an hour and a half worth of photos, and by the end of it, it had about 40% battery left, so that's quite good considering the temperature. It was pretty chilly. So speaking as somebody who doesn't have too much patience for software and troubleshooting computers, you really just run outside, plop it down, give it a rough level, and you're free to run back inside and warm up again. It does all of the alignment and focusing and calibration itself. Of course, you are free to stay outside and enjoy the night sky and take some pictures at the same time. But the nice thing about these smart telescopes is it's not a requirement, which is nice, especially for our Canadian winters where it's nice and dark and we have long nights, but it's a bit too cold to actually be outside for most of it. So what did I get when I left it outside for an hour and a half? I got that. Sure, it's not a whole lot. It's from my inner city backyard, but the fact that a scope that small and easy to use got anything at all from some of the worst light pollution possible is very impressive. I am genuinely impressed by it. It was very easy to use. That's it. It's easy to use. So it may not look very impressive when you compare it to a setup that costs 20 times as much. But I genuinely enjoyed using it, and I'm quite happy with the results that I got considering the size of the scope, the fact that my backyard is in the middle of a very bright city with snow on the ground, which makes light pollution even worse. I'm quite happy with it. I would use it again. Okay, with all that said, who might this scope be for? Well, I can assure you that I've used many complex and very frustrating rigs before, and there's real value in a telescope that is consistent, easy to use, and really makes the hobby enjoyable, especially if you're in a rut and your more complex equipment might not be working. This is for everybody. It's for beginners and maybe even seasoned pros as well. Is it going to get you the same photos as a $10,000, $20,000 setup? No, of course not. Is it a factor of 20 easier to use than one of those setups? Maybe. Alongside seasoned pros who just need a break from their complex, frustrating setups, this is also a great scope for somebody who travels a lot, somebody who goes camping, somebody who just wants to dip their toes into astrophotography and not worry about the complex setup and hassle and expense of a dedicated camera and a dedicated telescope and a mount and guiding and everything. I really feel like there is value in a scope like this. If you fall into either of those categories, then between the S30 or the S50, which one might be the right one for you? Well, the S30 is a lot more portable, and that is saying something as the S50 is already quite portable. They both will give you great images. If you prioritize getting a bit more magnification and light collection, then the S50 is probably the right one for you. If you're okay with a little bit less resolution and a wider field of view, and prioritize portability, then the S30 is probably for you. Either way, I can assure you, you'll be happy with it. That's it for my first impressions of the S30. It's a cute little guy, and I'd be happy to use it again. Leave a comment if there's anything else you'd like us to review, or take a look at, any tutorials you want us to make. Please, leave a comment. I'm begging you. Thanks again for watching. I've been Gabe with All-Star Telescope. We'll see you on the next one.